Greetings everyone, welcome back. My name is Joseph James, schooltrade.com, and we're talking about our favorite futures markets that we trade every day in our live trade room. And in today's video, we're talking about the E-mini S&P futures. Now guys, I want to remind you, if you're not watching this video right now on the blog, click the link right below the video that will take you right back to our blog where you can find articles, videos, live trade calls, all on the E-mini S&P, guys, or head to sidewaysmarkets.com. That's our blog address. Now, the E-mini S&P, one of our favorite markets here, guys, for a couple reasons. Okay, the S&P is usually what we learn to trade first. One of the most common markets to trade. Now, it trades in the CME group. It's a member of the E-mini family, right? The S&P is kind of the king of the E-mini family. Symbol is the ES. The tick value is a quarter point increment. Okay, so 0.25. You'll see it listed as 1,000.25, 1,000.50, 1,000.750, right? 1,001.0, so on and so forth. Cost per tick is $12.50 USD per tick. It's going to require $500 USD per contract for margin. The benefits are also the drawbacks for the S&P. The benefits of the S&P here are lots of liquidity, predictable price patterns, right? And excellent for position traders. Okay, so the benefit here really helps position and swing traders for the S&P. Now, some of the drawbacks is all that volume. Guys, as you guys know, we want to have a combination of volatility and a little bit of volume. We don't want too much of the other. Now, the S&P, the biggest fault the S&P has is there's too much volume. And these days, when we had that credit crunch in 2008, people took their money out of emerging markets, right, and they put it in what they thought to be the safe haven of the S&P and gold. So you've already seen the big jump in gold. The S&P now has become a very slow and sluggish market with lots of backfill. And the term backfill, what that means is that you're not going to see breakouts. We're going to see a range-bound market. You'll be selling the highs, buying the lows, so you're not going to see those big breakouts like you would, for example, on the Russell or on the crude or on the gold. Okay, the S&P is a sideways, range-bound market. We are not going to scalp the S&P for breakouts. We're going to look more for day trades, position trades, swing trades, and specifically, I'm going to be playing within the daily trading range. Right? The word backfill meaning we don't get very many big breakouts. Now, the best time to trade the S&P is from 9:30 till 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and then from 3:30 right until 4 o'clock for the afternoon session. Now, my favorite pattern in the S&P is the reversal two-step off the high of day, and I use a 13 range for that. Remember, the S&P is a sideways range-bound market, which means selling the highs or buying the lows, and I like to use a 13 range chart to do that. My favorite time frames, all right, I don't scalp the S&P very much, but we use an 8 range chart for the S&P for scalps. I'll day trade the S&P with a 13 range chart, and then for my position or my swing trades, I'll use a 21 range or a 34 range. Now, you can also use your 30-minute or your 60-minute charts as well for your swing trading as well. Guys, but what I want you guys to remember is the S&P is a range-bound market that is completely different than other markets like gold, crude, euro, Russell. Okay, those are all breakout markets. The S&P is a sideways, range-bound, and oftentimes a little bit slow and sluggish and frustrating market to trade. Okay, you're going to see a market like crude where you see these big moves, and then you see a market like the S&P where we have the same potential big move, but because there's so much volume there, it takes all that more work to get the market to move. So the biggest drawback of the E-mini S&P is that there's too much volume. Okay, all kinds of fake out breakouts and backfilling. Okay, so trade inside the bracket of the E-mini S&P. And guys, don't forget, if you want more information about the E-mini S&P, you can follow the link right below the video. Below this video is a link that will take you directly to the E-mini webpage on the CME group, and you can find all the information you guys need directly from the exchange regarding all your contract specifications. All right, guys, come join us tomorrow as a member of the advanced course or as a 3-week trial guest, and we'll talk about how we trade the S&P E-mini live in real time. Hope the video helps. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye for now.